You have a really dumb part of your brain. And this dumb part of your brain, you can almost look at it like a dog. It responds to stimuli, and that stimuli programs it to behave in a specific way. You have a reward system in your brain. That's your dopamine, your serotonin. So when you do something good, you're rewarded with this brain chemical that makes you feel good, right? And I think a lot of people, me personally, have overlooked this for a really long time because it's super simple. And once I explain it, it's going to become really obvious why you struggle with a lot of things in your life. So essentially, this is the toxic pattern that most people are playing out. Their dopamine levels are on average a little bit lower than usual. And they wake up. All right, imagine this is like throughout the day. They wake up, their dopamine levels are gradually decreasing. The morning is difficult. And so they want to spike their dopamine with something, whether it be like weed or vaping or maybe some scrolling on social media, right? Whatever it is, you're going to stimulate your brain so that you can feel good because you associate this feeling good with happiness. And that is the trap. The trap is that the things that are actually going to make you consistently happy, and this is what consistent happiness would look like. Dopamine levels are not crazy high, but they're probably hovering a little bit above the average mark. They're raising throughout the morning. And then as you get your work done, it goes up. You experience a peak. And then it slowly comes back down to medium towards the evening, right? This is what healthy dopamine spiking should look like. You shouldn't have this massive curve. But like I was saying, the trap is assuming or feeling, really your brain registers these things that you're doing as happiness. And the happiness that you're looking for is healthy relationships, a healthy relationship with yourself, your body, your mind, your personality, whatever. Your finances, healthy relationships with all the different elements in your life. That's what's actually going to bring you lasting happiness, having balance across every area of your life. If you're constantly spiking your brain with these high dopamine activities, then you're not going to associate, your brain is literally not going to associate happiness with the things that you need to do. And so you're going to avoid doing the things that you need to do. And so your day is going to look a lot like avoiding, distracting with all this dopamine, experiencing this high, and then this, post-nut clarity of like, oh wow, I really haven't done anything. And that dopamine slowly starts to die off. And you end the day feeling drained, literally below where you started, versus you start the day intentionally. You're being mindful and you're making good decisions with what you spend your time doing, right? Maybe you're meditating in the morning, maybe you're hitting some workout, getting a good breakfast in, right? And then you start your work. And as you're going into your work and you're being present with your work, you're getting serotonin, you're getting dopamine, you're getting a even flow of these things. It's not this massive spike. And so you're experiencing satisfaction, fulfillment throughout your workday. And then towards the end, you start to wind down a little bit. It's less stimulating. And then you go back into whatever, wind down activities you like to do. And it's not that you should never have dopamine spikes, right? Dopamine spikes are going to happen, but it's about understanding the system, right, of the fact that if you spike your brain with dopamine, it's going to associate that experience, that behavior that you did with reward. So if you reward yourself for being lazy, for not really doing anything, if you're not doing anything and you spike your brain with dopamine, then all of a sudden you're training your brain to do nothing, to literally do nothing, and to expect doing nothing to bring happiness. And this is a really tricky spot to be in because when you're in it, it can feel really hard to get out of it because your brain chemistry has literally been wired to do nothing and expect reward. And guess what? The reward that you are giving yourself is not really a reward at the end of the day because it just leaves you feeling drained, leaves you feeling unfulfilled, and leaves you feeling frustrated with yourself. So what I would recommend is rehijacking your reward system because it's already been hijacked by these things. And how can you rehijack your reward system? By simply, actually, this is why, you know who calls it this? I forgot his name. But he's a really smart guy. And he calls it eating the frog. You want to build a habit of eating the frog, which is doing the thing that you really don't want to do first before you reward yourself. So if you know that there's something you're putting off, and even if it doesn't feel like it's going to be that important, like folding your laundry, right? Sometimes I put off folding my laundry. It's like, all right, I can do that later. I'm going to do the fun thing first. You have to rewire your brain to do the work first. Because when you do the work first, right? And then you give yourself a reward afterwards, which could be, okay, I'm allowed to go on my phone, or I'm allowed to, go out with my friends or whatever. After you do the work, then you train your brain to want to do the work because it associates the work with the reward. But if you just reward yourself straight off the bat, you don't do anything. This is just like non-activity. You just go straight to your reward. Then all of a sudden your brain has no reason to want to work. Why would it want to do that? We already got the reward. So it's really simple. It's really simple, but a lot of people overlook it and a lot of people overthink it. I overthink it. I overthink it so much. It's super, super, super easy, but we don't want to do it. And that's the thing. It's like we don't want to put in the effort to experience the discomfort of doing what we don't want to do. And that's a skill in itself. That's a whole muscle that you have to build, is doing the uncomfortable thing. And you start small. Start with little things. Start with folding your laundry. Every opportunity. This is a big one. Don't quantify your success by how many consecutive moments of right decisions, or like how many consecutive right decisions you make, right? You might make one right decision and 10 bad decisions. Focus on the one right decision you made and focus on making another right decision at the next time that it's available, the next time that you can. And the more and more that you show up for yourself, the more frequent these right decisions are going to become. And then it'll become a habit. It'll become an everyday thing. But if it's not an everyday thing right off the bat, don't beat yourself up, because that is going to put so much energy into the opposite of what you want, right? If you're beating yourself up, if you're shaming yourself, you're actually affirming to yourself that you're not good enough and you're not worthy and you're not capable. You don't want to be doing that, because you're going to be making it 100,000 times harder, literally infinitely harder, by beating yourself up than just acknowledging the moments where you have wins. Celebrate your wins. Feel good. Allow yourself to experience that reward aspect of the work. If you do the work, really allow yourself to relish in whatever reward it is that you want to give yourself, because that is literally training your brain to believe that the work is going to have a worthy reward, and you'll start to reprogram your brain. So that's pretty much it for this video. Really short video. Thank you guys. Peace.